tow of anhydrous ammonia for East Pasco. This is a petroleum tow for Umatilla with a wheat barge for loading at Kent. This is a tandem tow of aviation gas and stove oil. This is a tow of 15-foot irrigation pipe for the Columbia River Basin. This is 1,000 tons of wheat speeding to a Portland elevator. This is a report of such daily action on the Columbia River. A report on the 25th year of operations by the Tidewater-Shaver Barge Lines, building surging into the tremendous future. More than ever, the queenly Columbia River is the key to tomorrow's growth and prosperity of the vast inland empire. She has unlimited power resources and is the broad highway for economic bulk cargo transportation serving Oregon, Washington, Idaho, and Montana. This country is new and rugged. Operating 24 hours a day, year-round, we often fight 15-mile-per-hour rapids, maintaining exacting control at the same time in exceedingly narrow, rocky channels. Naturally, these conditions limit the size and speed of tows. To date, dams eliminate not all, but much of these bad water stretches. For instance, in the case of Bonneville, whose power greatly accelerated the Northwest's industrial progress, the backed-up pool allows larger, faster tows through the mountainous gorges. McNary's power more than doubles this vital resource. Here, the world's lowest or lowers tows more than 90 feet in a very few minutes. The locks are operated by the Army Corps of Engineers and fill or empty with a larger volume of water than that used daily by the 500,000 residents of Portland. Then came the Dalles. Its bountiful power supply brings many new industries, new visions and plans. Its pool covers numerous rough sections of the river. All successful pioneering must be steered and driven by a leader, a man of action, of vision and conviction, a man who inherently attracts the most skilled and ablest men to work with him. With him, we said, for that is the way of Tidewater-Shaver. You may be a chemist testing the purity of storage products, or a terminal man recording the temperature of a petroleum tank. You may be a captain, or a pilot, or an engineer bridling a tow, or welding repairs while on the move. No matter what your job may be, you are a key to the performance team of Tidewater-Shaver. Performance is the result of good planning, thorough understanding and research, then action with top efficiency. To plan correctly takes a great deal of thinking, talking matters over in detail. And you've got to be up to the minute, even ahead if possible, when you're serving such an explosively progressive area as the Northwest. Enormous sweeps of wasteland almost overnight become green, thriving farmlands, as irrigation and fertilization change the barren deserts into lands of unbelievable promise. Huge pipeline projects crisscross states, feeding thousands of outlets, which in turn nurture the crops. Call it magic or progress, what it has a direct bearing on barge line operations. For with transformation comes development, then need and demand. And a good barge man must be ready when the demand is needed. On the high plateaus, deep dusts cover the fields, and men of action go to work studying the soil. Surprisingly, they find moisture very near the surface. And with scientific thoroughness, they soon bring forth a world of heavy golden wheat. In another sagebrush area, another man of vision details his plans. And out of the desert rises the Tidewater East Pasco Terminal, one of the most complete storage and distribution terminals in the Northwest. Handling over 36 different products and with a capacity of 25 million gallons, the East Pasco Terminal serves all the major petroleum companies with multiple marine, truck, and rail facilities. East Pasco is the northwest terminus of the Salt Lake Petroleum Pipeline and handles well over 100 million gallons a year for storage and distribution on to Spokane. With this comprehensive inland terminal, the Tidewater-Shaver Performance team is rounded out, ready and able to meet all developments.
This is the Portland Marine Dispatcher calling WC 4084, the Doug Beulah.
At Bonneville with the petroleum zone.
You are to proceed to Miller Island, meeting the invader.
Coming downstream with a tow of grain and petroleum.
Like a Marine sergeant, the dispatcher's orders must be carried out. All operations of the tows are according to a master schedule, which is set up daily by the dispatcher in order to meet customer needs. In reality, the dispatcher is the hub of all operations. And when he tells a customer the barge will be there, he means it. This petroleum barge, for instance, is scheduled for Umatilla. Immediately upon arrival, its cargo is pumped into the Tidewater-Shaver tank farm. Trucks are quickly filled and sealed, and soon the customer's retail stations in eastern Oregon and southern Idaho will be supplied.
This is the Portland Marine Dispatcher calling WA 6062, the Tug Invader.
Bulk cargo hauling today is a very diversified industry. In addition to the numerous petroleum products, equipment must be ready to handle efficiently such cargoes as cement, asphalt, wheat, caustic soda, and many other chemicals. The availability and volume of these basic commodities is economically important for the progress of the land. This awesome machine at the East Pasco Terminal is called the Hog, because it roots out hundreds of tons of dry cement from the hold of a barge. Remotely controlled by the skilled operator, a load of cement is soon pumped through the jumping hose up to the storage cylinder, which feeds the highway carriers. terminal's numerous racks, caustic soda is loaded into specially constructed tank trucks, which will speed the chemical to pulp mills and potato chip factories throughout Idaho. At another rack, a truck is filled with heated asphalt for the construction of one of the many new highways across the rapidly developing country.
This is the Portland Marine Dispatcher calling WA3299, the tug, Captain Al James, approaching the Dalles.
The dispatcher alerts the upriver towboat of the ammunition tow now loading at the Bangor Naval Depot on Puget Sound. He advises approximate departure for the coastal run to the Columbia River, gives details of the cargo and tonnage so that the skipper can lay out his exact course when the important barge is his responsibility. Such preparatory thoroughness is carried out with all tows. More impressively, perhaps, when the cargo is explosive. Despite the fog, the seagoing tug Tidewater-Shaver interchanges the Ammo barge with the lower river towboat, the Lou Russell Sr., and without a halt, the extraordinary tow speeds upriver. During the night, the Al James takes over, and by early morning, discharge operations are well underway. Located miles from any habitation, the Ammunition River dock is designed to expedite the safe handling of these explosive cargoes. Cooperation on all phases of the work, the ammo is quickly palletized and cleared to the waiting flatbed trucks. Haul from the marine dock to the huge Umatilla Ordnance Depot is but a few miles. At the depot, the ammo is inspected and stored.
This is the Portland Marine Dispatcher calling WF8780, the tug Tillamook, en route from Shell Point, California. You are to proceed with your tow upriver to the Shell dock in Portland Harbor. And return for another load immediately upon completion of discharge.
It's been a pleasant habit of Tidewater Shavers to work with their customers. And when the Shell Chemical Corporation developed their anhydrous ammonia fertilizer, it was a natural situation for such customer-operator teamwork. One of the results is this beautiful, specially designed ocean barge, the Ammonia Mariner Sr., which is on constant turnaround operations between the California manufacturing plant and Portland. Specially designed but smaller for river hauling, carries the chemicals from Portland to East Pasco, where two large storage spheres and a complete intricate engineering plant handle, condition, and distribute the product.
Marine dispatcher calling WD 9193, the tug Leland James, approaching McNary Dam with barge 174.
Pack as much power as the hull will take, then you might, just might, have as good a workboat as the Leland James. She's the queen of the river. And sometimes the queen of the galley is on the afterdeck. Tearfully so when the dinner menu includes onions. But the results are so obviously obvious that it's well worth it.
Marine dispatcher calling WC 3215, the tug Mary Gale. You are to spot barge 174
for discharge with the 10 hydrous ammonia at East Pasco and pick up the asphalt and caustic soda barges for downstream.
Time, the chemical racks are rushed more than ever as masked experts load the demanded products into trucks and rail cars. In the fields, the drilling rigs, some of them as wide as 80 feet, fill the horizon with clouds of dust. Fed from the portable tanks, the chemical is forced by pressure into the ground. It's hot, real hot, and dusty. Refueling, the tines are cleared so that the chemical fertilizer will be buried deep into the ground. There it lies dormant until the young roots of the grain release and thrive on it. According to harvest figures, fertilized fields are producing 2, even 3 times more wheat than before. This is real progress in a land where wheat is king. Like an armada of tanks advancing to battle, 12 combines work a 20,000-acre wheat ranch on the fertile Horse Heaven Plateau. Extraordinarily efficient, the intricate machines make it look so easy as they cover vast pieces or acreages. The speed of the combine, as well as that of the combing wheel, is controlled by the driver, who also regulates the height of the cutting blades. While the grain or ear of wheat is the ultimate objective of this particular operation, a good stand of straw is left in areas where the topsoil is light and the wind brisk. This stand, as well as the chaff, is harrowed into the topsoil for natural fertilization and protection against wind erosion. In heavier soil, the stand is lower, and the chaff is baled for silage. 40 bushels to the acre, the hopper is soon filled and a truck wheels alongside. The journey of the golden harvest has started, with much of it destined for the hungry millions of far-off lands. Sampson's elevator, a laden truck pulls over the pit. At Umatilla, another fleet hauls from the fields. It's the same at North Pacific, at Fort Kelly. Everywhere the wheat is piling up. Time is important now. The dispatcher shuffles equipment. The pilot nudges the throttle up a notch. Barges are needed everywhere, by everyone, at the same time. Like a river of gold, the wheat is conveyed into barges, where exhausted men doggedly keep loading, cramming every available nook and cranny with the grain. Markets are surfeited, elevators jammed. It's the same everywhere at harvest time in this country. Wheat, wheat, wheat. Freighters gobble up the barge loads of wheat. Revolutionary self-unloading wheat barges bring about great savings in time and money, unloading more than 500 tons an hour. At the Longview elevator of the Continental Grain, a towering gravity-fed bucket line eats its way down to the sump of the barge. In the hold, the floors are angled so that all the grain flows by gravity toward the center. There, under the roofed metal and controlled by the single discharge man, are twin augers running from each end of the barge, pushing the wheat toward the hungry bucket line. Such progress enables barges to make as little as 3-hour turnarounds, a tremendous savings in time and money. This has been a report by the Tidewater-Shaver Barge Lines commemorating its 25th year of operations on the Columbia River. A report documenting much of the daily operations, challenges faced, works accomplished, bringing the progress record up to date. By the same token, this is a pledge by Tidewater-Shaver to continue and increase the pioneering of river bulk cargo transportation, to continue and increase the performance of dependable economic service. Always looking ahead, always ready and able to meet all the developments in the inevitable magnificent future of the Inland Empire.
It's an irony of our modern world that the great oil fields are located in distant places, far from the heavily populated industrial centers, where most of the oil is needed. The pipeline that brings oil to where it's used are the tankers and crews of the Chevron Shipping Company. And the oceans are the highways they travel. The ocean holds more mystery and adventure than any novel ever written. It can be both hero and villain. The sea is awesome. It can challenge us, it can reward us, and it continually calls to us.